Welcome back, everyone. House Speaker John Boehner dismissing President Obama's jobs plan now, saying it doesn't give the private sector any confidence.
They've been slammed by uncertainty from the constant threat of new taxes, out-of-control spending, and unnecessary regulation from a government that's always micromanaging, meddling, and manipulating.
So, can they come together to help Americans? Let's ask our political panel. Liberal radio talk show host Leslie Marshall is here, New York Post columnist Jennifer Gould-Kyle, and Republican strategist Noel Nikpour. It's all females today, so great to see all of you. Leslie, since you came all the way in from California, let me start with you down there at the end.
Good morning.
I have a feeling that you're going to say that Obama's plan is a good one and what Boehner said is wrong, and that Boehner should be compromising.
Absolutely. One thing I have to say, out of all Republicans, I got to give him his props. I think if anybody were to be able to compromise, it would be Boehner. And honestly, I just think he needs more backbone with his party and has to decide, is he going to work with the American public and the Democrats, or is he just going to bow down to the Tea Party faction of the GOP? The thing that really irks me on this is I am waiting, as an American who happens to be a Democrat, for a jobs bill from the Republicans, for a jobs bill, a specific comprehensive jobs bill from Mr. Boehner. And I'm not seeing that. It's easy to say this is what won't work, but what will work? And that's and we are hearing from economists across the board, even people who worked in the Reagan administration and George H. Bush's administration, who say, look, if you look at 2008 till now, we don't have a huge increase in regulations, so that there's no reason they should be.
Well, let me throw it over to Noel then, because she's the Republican on the panel. How would you respond to that?
You know, Obamanomics and Reaganomics, they're very different. Obamanomics is proven it doesn't work. Obama has not created jobs. And basically what this is it's the same wine, it's just put in a different bottle. And Americans are not buying it anymore.
You mean with more spending?
Absolutely. It's just more and more of the same stuff. It's the private sector that's creating the jobs.
I want you to listen to the President and how many times he said, pass the bill. Watch this.
You should pass it. And I intend to take that message to every corner of this country. Pass this bill. 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 Pass this bill now. So let's tell Congress, pass this bill. Pass this bill. Pass this bill. Pass this bill. Pass this bill.
Jennifer, is that effective with the American people?
Absolutely not. I think that is absolutely extraordinary, because not once did he say, read this bill. Let's talk about this bill. Republicans, what do you think about this bill? You know, there's nothing. Pass this bill. He tried that before and it didn't work. And we have a lot of problems. We have an American public that is getting increasingly frustrated and incredibly upset with nonsense. There's absolutely nothing behind pass this bill. And we have Republicans who are saying, look, your plan doesn't work. We've seen it before. We've had stimuluses that don't work. We had a bank bailout, and now the only people who are richer are the bankers. But yet we have nothing from the Republican side either. And I think what we have now is a blockade. We have an impasse. We have two sides that are just making Americans so upset. 9.1% unemployment, 428,000 people who became jobless last week,
right.
and nothing.
And a 13% approval of Congress by the American people. I want you to stick around, panel, because up next the media was all over the White House when Enron collapsed. So where are they now reporting on the Solyndra scandal? And it's the end of the line. Thank you for analysis, Brian. Well, is the White House being treated differently by the mainstream media covering the growing Solyndra scandal? Last decade, President Bush faced increased scrutiny during the fallout of the Enron case. How is the current president being treated this time around? Luckily, we're back with our panel, so they can provide you their thoughts on that. And let me start with Jennifer this time around. Do you think that there's a difference in the way the coverage has been or not?
I think it's been a slow start. It was maybe sloppy, a little lazy. You can't have billions of dollars given out to companies and expect there not to be corruption. So all of a sudden, this has come to our attention, $500 million. Now we know there are problems. There looks to be either incompetence or corruption. I think this is the tip of the iceberg, and that there's a lot more underneath that we're going to see.
Tip of the iceberg for just this company, or tip of the iceberg for other loans that were given with taxpayer money?
Other loans. I mean, there is such sloppiness. I think the Labor Department just came out with stats that $19 billion has been mismanaged. I mean, there is so much room for mismanagement, and there's no accountability. The problem is these loans the president seems to think that you can throw out loans as a way to stimulate an economy, and yet people don't have to pay the loans back.
But Leslie, isn't this horrible timing for the president? I mean, he just released his jobs bill. He's asking for almost $500 billion more in stimulus spending. And now won't the American people be scratching their heads saying, well, oopsie daisy, some of that money wasn't spent well the first time around. Maybe we shouldn't do it again.
Yes, but I think the American people are smarter than that, Gretchen. I mean, because quite frankly, when you talk about a bailout of the banks, that was a Republican president that signed that into law, and that was agreed upon by, you know, both parties, Democrats and Republicans, and the American people didn't want that. You know, what fascinates me, you know, about this is the way I hear it is almost as if we have never had a government, left or right, invest in a private company ever, and that's just not true. Or we've never had a company go belly up, or VCs make investments in that are risky.
Yeah, but you're forgetting the ideology part of this whole equation, though. Which
we don't have actual dots that connect. Not one congressman, left or right, has been able to say to any journalist on any network, when asked that very question, do you have specific evidence that proves that this is ideologically based? And another thing we have to remember is that investors into Solyndra, there are many Republican and conservative investors originally that invested in Solyndra that also invested in very conservative companies like Walmart.
I got to get Nicole in here.
You know, that doesn't matter about who's invested. The part of the problem is Obama let this go on his watch and pushed it through. The Bush administration denied this loan and said it was bad business. So once again, the government has invested in something that has proven not to work. And, you know, we need to get this more out in the media because this is wrong. It's pay-to-play politics, Chicago-style politics that Obama's been used to, and this is wrong. It's an election year, and I think that this is the tip of the iceberg. I think not only this company, but you're going to see more crazy loans brought out.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Leslie, Jennifer, Noel, good to see all three of you. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Coming up, a top general.